Generosity is active. While the world constantly moves forward, being responsive means we choose to evolve. To use our collective strength to meet the moment and change the world for good. So how do we activate generosity? We evolve. We move beyond traditional approaches that rely on a few large donations. We innovate. We take risks, try new things, and learn from our mistakes. We activate. We engage our community to be part of the solution. The time for action is now. And together, we activate generosity. Welcome to the Responsive Nonprofit Summit.
Welcome to the final day of the Responsive Nonprofit Summit. Over the last 2 days, thousands of nonprofit fundraisers, marketers, and teams have joined us to hear from probably 50 plus experts helping you create more personal experiences with your donors to grow giving and impact. And we're so excited that you've joined us for our final day. We have an incredible lineup, but before we get there, let's reflect a little. So,
we haven't told anybody who you are.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, you just get into the flow, you get into the rhythm. My name's Brian Funk, VP of Marketing here at Virtuous.
I'm Becky Endicott. I'm one of the co-founders of We Are for Good. Do you need mine or do you have your own?
I've got one right here. I'm Stephen Boudreau, VP of Brand and Community at Virtuous.
Beautiful. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the incredible work that you do day in and day out towards your mission. The better world that we're all working to build is possible because of you. And the fact that you chose to spend your time with us, we are so grateful. We know how valuable and precious your time is. We know how precious you are. You are all precious cargo, championing change in our world. So thank you. Stephen, Becky, would love to hear just some reflections on day 2.
Well, day 3 feels like the end of summer camp. You kind of have that.
Fundraiser
you're
summer
excited,
camp, for sure.
You know, you're excited, but also you're starting to mourn the loss of it already. You're like, oh, we had a really good time. We had a really good time. But yeah, yesterday, I think the tone that you set at the start with what the words you just said, describing the precious cargo of the fundraisers really just set the tone for the entire day. You were talking about on your panel that, was it Yada?
Yada
had never even heard of RNS and was just kind of basking in the glow that is being a member of that precious cargo and being like, oh, so many people care about each other in one place. That's not normal. That doesn't just happen. And I'm really glad to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, I really hope that beyond just learning and evolving, you've been finding community. And that's what we've been seeing. We've been watching the chat and we've been watching people who are really craving for gathering together, the sharing of ideas. And, you know, one of the panels that we had yesterday when we were talking about mental health was, you know, we really need this space of belonging. Not only do we need to heal from trauma, we talked to Kirk Brown over at Handy Inc. said, you know, you cannot ask for success from those who are wounded. And so the healing process has got to be a part of our work, but also the gathering and the evolving and the sharing. And I think we're just getting started and we're going to wrap it up today with a bang.
Yeah, I think the theme and the thread that I see with the Responsive Nonprofit Summit and all of you and the community that is growing is that it's holistic, right? It's when we come here, we're not just diving into fundraising strategy, how to become more hyper-personal with your donors. It's bigger than that, right? We're talking about people, we're talking about humans, we're talking about emotions, we're talking about the tools that you use, the strategies that you use, how we take care of each other and support each other along the way. And so I hope that support and the support that you're finding amongst each other has been present over the last couple days.
That's a good pivot to today's agenda. Because actually I was just looking over here at our colleague Jennifer and I was thinking about the holistic view. Today we're going to have a great discussion with Caitlin Baker from the Maine Organic Farmers Gardeners Association. And they're going to be talking about how they mobilize 1,600 volunteers.
Yeah.
So much of what we talk about is like raising capital, but also raising people up to join the cause with just their time and their talents is a remarkable story that can be multiplied kind of almost infinitely. So I'm really looking forward to that conversation today.
That's amazing. And one of the sessions I'm really excited about is how to use data to grow generosity. So on the other side of the spectrum, you're talking about how to utilize human capital to grow generosity. You can also tune into a session where you learn about how to utilize your data within your system to grow generosity. So again, taking that holistic approach. Becky, I'm curious, what's happening on the We Are for Good stage today?
We always got a lot going on over at the conversation stage, but John and I are actually starting out today. We're going to talk about habits of an impactful fundraiser. So we're going to do a presentation on that, and then we're bringing the conversation back. We're going to have a really deep conversation on going further with your DE&I efforts. We're going to talk about why it's good for business, why it's good for the heart, and why it's good for growing success. And then we're going to round it out with how to be a change agent. So if you're waiting for your moment to really lean into the causes that matter to you, and maybe not just the mission that you're serving, but the things that really light you up, then come into that session. We've got incredible panelists. We got Lady Gaga's Foundation coming in to talk about their impact. We've got Tara Abrahams, who's the board chair for She's the First and the impact director for the Meteor. We got such a solid lineup. Please come check it out and find out how to pour in.
Beautiful. And with that, I just have to give a round of applause to We Are for Good. They have been incredible, not only throughout this summit, but in past summits with us. We are so honored and adore our friendship and our partnership. You guys have brought so much value into the sector, and we're so proud to be able to stand by you and do it with you. So thanks so much.
Yeah, you guys really embody community, and not just with the broader community, but even as you walk around this office. Everywhere you guys go, it's just like, oh, the sunlight follows you. So we're just really...
And we also have a closing keynote today. And what I'm really excited about the closing keynote with T. Clay Buck, Lynn Wester, Barbara O'Reilly is they're actually going to be taking all of the threads, all of the learnings, and leaving you with something really practical, as well as what you can do for yourself and for your team, and how you take all those learnings and move into tomorrow, where RNS is a thing of the past. So hope you tune into the closing keynote. Any other?
I was just going to encourage everybody to be active in the chat.
Yeah.
Again, it's almost like that last day of summer camp. Make sure y'all are connecting, creating opportunities for you to stay in touch with maybe friends that you've met this week. But yeah, just take advantage of the platform today and just make the most of this rare opportunity to bring so many people into one place.
We end all of our podcasts with a one good thing. So I got to give a one good thing to everybody. If you do one actionable thing, go and try out the Memory Fox storytelling platform. We want to hear your stories. We want to know what this summit has meant to you. We want to know where the gaps are, because we want to fill them for the next year, because we want to keep elevating and evolving and getting better and better. And because your voice is such an important fabric of what we're building here. And as we wrap it up, we're about to go get busy and put all this stuff into action. So I'm excited.
Beautiful. Yeah. Allie Hammond is going to drop a link in the chat. You can click through there, and you can film, like Becky said, a quick video telling us about what was the one thing that you learned. So I love that. We want to hear from you. We want to elevate your voice, and we want to know, what's impacting you. I think a few other quick housekeeping things. We've gotten a lot of questions about, can I go back? Can I rewatch the sessions? So I actually have 2 answers for everybody, and good news. If you missed any of the sessions, you can go back in the platform and rewatch and replay anything at any time right now. So if you're still looking to dive in and keep the education and learning and connection going, you can do that right within the platform. In addition, over the coming weeks, we are also going to release all of the sessions across all of our channels so that they'll be free and accessible on YouTube, on our podcast, and more. So we'll have lots of mediums where you can go back, redigest, listen to the sessions that you missed. And if you're looking to earn those 35 CFRE continuing education credits, you can go back and watch those sessions and be eligible to earn those credits. So Allie's going to drop another link in the chat for you to download our continuing education guide, which you can submit to CFRE in order to earn your credits. We're so thrilled that the summit can help you continue your expertise in your education in that way. Any other housekeeping? Okay, beautiful. Well, One last thing, the Responsive Nonprofit Summit is only made possible. We're so proud that it's free, that it's accessible. We want every nonprofit team to be able to access this, and it's only possible because of our partners that stand shoulder to shoulder and believe in this vision of creating a better world and more generosity in our world. So I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. And before we go into our opening keynote for the final day, I'd like to give one of our sponsors a quick word.